Legs up.
Legs up.
Relax.
It's about time.
Yeah, I relaxed yesterday.
Did you?
Kind of. I mean, it was the generally Sunday is like the day where I try to relax.
Day of rest.
Yeah, and what you got going on over there, Kinsley? All right, yeah, so that was yesterday. Today was back to work for both of us.
Yes.
Hi, thank you for offering Katie's slipper. That's great.
It's a great slipper.
It's Mama's slipper.
Mama, she loves Mama's slipper. She has one of Mama's socks and one of Mama's slippers that she found.
Yeah, so should I start? Do you want to start?
Go ahead.
Me start? I'll start. Then we can get into the weekend.
Sure.
Sure. We have an agenda.
Do we?
I don't know. Anywho, today was a fairly productive day, actually. Started off with, of course, the morning walk. I didn't do any chicken chores this morning, but I did have to take one of the quack heads and get it back in the netting. Somehow it got out. I don't know how it got out.
Maybe it went around the netting when it was in the pond.
Yeah. Excuse me, Kinsley.
All right, so you put a shenanigan.
Yeah, so I put the shenanigan, so I don't know. So I think I'm going to electrify that fence because there are some new holes in it.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So, then after that, I went into town for two reasons. I wanted to fill 2 empty propane tanks because we have some pretty cold weather coming over the next, I think it's like 5 days.
Yeah.
And just so we have everything filled up. And then I also got my flu and COVID shot. So I wanted, because we have a pretty significant flu outbreak in the area. And so I'm the kind of, I like to just
get it done.
Get it done. Yeah. So they said that I might have some soreness in my arms, which I don't. And then, don't don't test it any further than just me just moving it around, but I won't smack you. And then I might feel cruddy under the weather for 24 hours, but so far I feel fine.
That's good, because I felt cruddy for...
Yeah, you haven't been feeling well at all.
No, I've been cruddy for a while. Not really sure what it is. It's not like a flu or... I don't know. I'm thinking, just trying like to deduct like what are some things that it has in common when I start to not feel good, because I'll go a couple days and feel totally fine, and then I'll have a day where I just feel awful, and I'm kind of leaning towards I might be lactose intolerant.
And it hit suddenly. Like
Yeah,
it just all of a sudden you're like, nope, my body does not like this.
Nope. Yeah, it's just I'll be fine, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not fine. I don't feel good. And it's like almost to the point where it's hard to function. Like it's really, really, like it's just very sudden onset, whatever it is that I'm dealing with. But, I say that and I think that maybe it's dairy, but then it's like I had mac and cheese last night, and it's like I was completely fine. It didn't bother me. I didn't have any stomach issues. I even had a bowl of cereal, and I felt completely fine. Then this afternoon I had the leftover mac and cheese, and I didn't feel good again. And my stomach started to get super upset, and I started to get kind of a weird, I don't know, we were at the store yesterday, and I went in by myself because I only needed to get, well, he thought one thing, but I needed to get 2 things, and then I remembered another thing because, I try to get as many things in as I can, and I was just standing there looking at shampoos, and all of a sudden I got like weird tunnel vision, and my vision in like my whole head just went woo woo, and I was just standing there like, whoa, what is happening? And then I kind of went like this, grabbed the shampoo, and walked off. It was super weird, and I haven't had that kind of weird sensation before, so I don't know what it is. But like I feel fine right now. Like I don't feel good, but I don't feel awful like I did the other day.
I can tell you have lack of energy.
Yeah.
Lack of enthusiasm.
Yes, lack of enthusiasm.
Yeah. So yesterday, as Katie mentioned, we were in town. We did some errands, and one of the errands was going into Lowe's.
Date
Shocking,
night.
shocking. And I had I picked up a bunch of plumbing stuff and some electrical stuff for the kitchen island. So today I was able to finish all of the electrical rough-in for the island, and tomorrow I will finish the plumbing rough-in for the island. And I think we also figured out what sink we are going to order,
It's in the shopping cart.
and Katie has put it to the shopping cart but hasn't paid for it yet.
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to do that tonight.
Yep.
So I can get the sink positioned.
You like to know the reason I haven't purchased it yet?
Sure.
Because I was going to see if there was some lighting I also wanted to get at the same time at the same place for the above the island. So
for
it
the-
could all just be ordered together, and they have like a 10% coupon, and it was like, you know,
Yep.
just for the sink it was like, oh, that's okay, $20. But if it was the sink and lighting, that made a huge, like a much bigger difference. So I have an email drafted to you for lighting options for you to look at.
Okay. Gonna be a busy evening. Looking over it. Good. Yeah, so getting close. And then we should have this week or maybe early next week, we should have that panel, the side panel for the refrigerator, so that I can finish the rest of the cabinets, and we will be ready for countertop measurements and countertop cutting. And I can start on prepping and installing the floor.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
it is exciting.
Yeah, because the countertops, we just need to pay that deposit and then get it scheduled. So once we get the sink and get it dry mounted, then we'll be able to have them come out and do all of the precise measurements, then get them scheduled. And they have the product in stock, so it's just going to be getting on their calendar. So that hopefully won't be too terribly crazy
Yeah.
of a time delay.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So getting closer. Yeah, I think I was thinking through it. You know, after flooring, then it's trim and doors, but there's still a lot of little other things that need to be finalized. Well, trim and doors, and then of course the bathroom vanity and sink and the soaker tub and toilets and stuff like that. But I still want to get the extra, what are they called, mini splits for the bedrooms.
Yeah.
And I might hold off on an extra mini split for the main living area to see how that one does.
When
the
there's-
one that we
yeah.
have when we're actually living in it, and see if it keeps up in the summer. If not, we can always add one.
Yeah.
And then, but I think the bedrooms will be nice to have them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that you can, like, I like to be kind of warmer in the office. I prefer, I don't like to be cold when I'm working. And then at night, like both of us, I think, like to be a little cooler, but
When we're
not
sleeping.
when we're sleeping, but falling asleep. So it's kind of like, don't want to be freezing, falling asleep, but then.
In our bedroom now in the RV, we have the little mini split by EcoFlow and the portable one, and I keep it at 68 when we're sleeping. And
Yeah.
It seems pretty comfortable.
Yeah. I don't think we do that in the summer.
No, summer we
Probably reduce it a little bit.
reduce it more. Yeah.
Just because the insulation's awful. But it was kind of funny. One of the gals that was at the register at Lowe's yesterday, she had mentioned, she kind of looked at me funny as Nate was checking out and doing all of his little things, because of course we're members and we have all these extra little things that we add in. And so it's like we're standing there waiting, and she was petting Kinsley, and she was like, hey, or she's like, oh, are you building? She's like, you guys are in here a lot. And I said, yeah. I said, we're remodeling a house. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, we just moved in after 2 years of building and moved out of the trailer. And I said, oh yeah, I said, we're 4 years in
Three.
to the RV.
Oh yeah.
And I said, we're about 2.5 into really working on the house. I mean, there was a couple stints where we paused, and I mean, it's probably only actually 2 years of kind of focusing in on it. We've definitely taken some pauses. And she's like, yeah, we finally just moved in after we put flooring, and now, you know, we have everything in the house, and there's still projects that we need to do, like installing doors and painting doors and adding trim and all of this stuff. And I said, yeah. She's like, so you could just move in once you get floors? I said, no.
No, we don't want
I said, you know why? I said, are you guys getting to all that stuff, or are you just getting comfy in your house? She goes, we're just getting comfy in our house. It's like,
yeah.
that's what we would do.
Yep.
And we would have all this unfinished stuff, and it's like, we're so close. I just, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay if it's a couple more months to just have it all finished, and then there's nothing that we have to, like, worry about or think about or wish we would have done, you know, before we moved in, because our furniture's huge, like all this stuff, and once you get in there and settled and everything.
Yeah.
So, but she kind of laughed, and she's like, yeah, we probably should have waited too. She's like, but I was done. She's like, I couldn't do it anymore. Are they yelling at Levi?
Yeah, the shenanigans are, it's Levi and Winston.
Oh, Winston was
not-
up on the hill.
I'm not sure what they're both doing, but they're both over here. The shenanigans. Yeah, so, yeah, the weekend was pretty good. I did a lot of measurements on the island and a lot of prep work to make sure the plumbing and the electrical and what size sink to get and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a lot of kind of busy work with the island, not a lot of actual work. But I think all that pre-planning is really going to pay off to make it fit together really nice. And so that was mostly what my weekend was. Yours was very busy.
A lot of chicken orders and sales. I sold 5 dozen eggs between Saturday and today for hatching eggs. So collecting all of them, taking orders, and getting things kind of worked around, and then candling all the eggs to see where I was from an incubation or from a development standpoint, and making sure that there wasn't any type of major issues with growth on the pre-orders, because I can fit approximately 130 eggs into my incubator, depending on the size of the eggs, of course. And I have orders for about 145, so I had to start 2 additional incubators. And so wanted to kind of make sure I had enough going on. And then I've been getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of texts and a lot of messages. I got 2 phone calls today from folks. I got 3 or 4 messages. Everyone's looking for chicks because there's so many people that are sold out right now. And I'm like, oh, I'm sold out of my first batch, but I've got room in my second batch. And then I reached out to another homesteader that has chickens, and I'm going to work on a collaboration of, you know, working together on some different breeds, and hoping to expand that into future collaborations with other homesteaders and other folks that have like products to myself, because really looking to see how I can expand our offerings of what we sell here and what we can offer customers. And Nate and I have talked a lot about what type of, you know, whether it's kits or coops or other things that we could potentially think about that would be easy for us to create, that we could offer to sell customers as well. So
What is that called? Upselling?
Upsells, yeah. So just things that, impulse items and upsells, and, you know, so it's like you're coming here to get chicks, and it's like, oh, shoot, you're going to have to run to the store and get a couple things because you forgot. So maybe I have a couple of those things here where it's not a huge profit for me, but it's enough, you know, to make it worth having it. And it's also a convenience for the customer. So of course that's going to be, once we get to the point, it'll make a lot more sense when I have a brick and mortar, you know, rather than like a place to store things that isn't just like, hey, I have this random back room in the back of my house.
Yeah.
Come on back. So, we'll be able to have some stuff, and I can have some displays and things. So I'm just trying to kind of see what I can do now and then think about how we can build that in the future. But it seems like the business is growing this year, definitely getting a lot busier. And I've gotten tons and tons of repeat customers. A lot of the customers have been back 2 to 3, if not 4 times. And it's great because when I get a new person reach out to me, they're like, hey, I heard about you from Wendy, or I heard about you from Jan, or I heard about you from, Bree. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. Like somebody that I had worked with in the past. And they're like, yeah, they had a great experience. And when I said I was looking, they recommended you. So that's been really nice.
That's good.
So that's been busy also, because having to kind of shuffle and just all of the communications back and forth to make sure people understand what they're asking for and what they're going to be getting and when they're going to be getting it. And then making sure my hens are actually laying. That's been a little bit of an issue with a couple of breeds. I've had to substitute, or now I see why hatcheries say, are you open to substitutions? Makes a lot more sense now, because it's nature and you can't guarantee. Because I have some, like my Buckeyes, for example, haven't laid in a week.
Yeah, they just stopped.
Completely stopped. And that's a breed, that's one of my best layers. And so to me, that's crazy. And thankfully, before they stopped, I was able to get a good batch into the incubator for myself, but I had a couple orders for them for hatching eggs, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't fill that order. I don't know why they're not laying right now. So I'm giving them extra calcium, extra stuff, and they're acting fine. They're eating, they're drinking, they look great. But I don't know why they're not laying. And I was like, well, maybe they're laying somewhere that I can't find. So I literally walked all around their run, because they have a huge run.
It's one of the new runs that we put up. Yeah.
And there's 2 trees in there, and so I was going around all the trees really carefully. I was going around the base of the coop that they have, and inside and outside. I was moving the nesting box. I was moving all the stuff in the nesting box. I'm like, nope, they're just not laying. So I don't know what it is. And there's no signs that they're eating the eggs, because there's nothing. There's like literally nothing. It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah,
it's been a very busy, like, trying to problem solve and figure out what's going on with a couple of the different ones. Well, somebody said yesterday, I don't know how you work full time and do all of this. I was like, I don't sleep. Which is actually very true. I sleep very little, but
yeah.
Even cutting out caffeine, I still don't really sleep. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. You're just a night owl.
I am a night owl. It's like, don't talk to me till about 10 a.m. at least. then I'm functioning.
Yeah. Is there anything else? I feel like there was maybe something else. Oh, it's really weird?
Lots of stuff.
Yeah. 4 times now, maybe 5, since we've put the ceiling boards in, and pretty much the house is fully wrapped, insulated, and all the doors and stuff. 4 times I've come into the house in the morning after dog walk or whatever, and there's a bird in the house. How in the world is a bird getting in the house, and the doors are closed, there's not an open door?
The only thing I can think of is in the bathroom, where there's that gap in the floor, like if it was coming in through the basement somehow, but I know that
the basement is usually closed too. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like, I have no idea how a bird's getting into the house. It means that there's an opening in the house somewhere, or the bird maybe flew into the house when you and I were in and out, and then we didn't know it.
Yeah, just didn't notice.
But yeah, 4 times I've come into the house in the morning and there's a bird flying around. Like, what in the world? So I open the doors and the whatever, and they eventually fly out. I was like, what the heck?
Interesting.
Yeah, very, very odd. That was
random fact for the day.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I feel like there was something, but we have to start planning for our food forest because we're going to be getting those trees soon
In a couple weeks.
in a couple weeks. I think we need to, maybe this weekend, we can figure out where we want to put them because
Yeah.
we need to put them in the ground when we get them,
Yes.
and we can work around them if we have to. But our plan is to do some swales up there
Like half moon swales.
and then around where the trees are going to be, but maybe some other strategic swales to help run off going down to the house area and the driveway. So we just need to kind of figure that out. That's why I've been doing a lot of cleaning out in
Yeah.
that area out there.
Yeah, I'll map out. Well, I'm not going to map out where to put them, but I'll map out the type of tree, what it needs as a cross pollinator, how far away it can be from that, and then the size, like how tall it gets and how wide it gets. So then we can think about from a full grown status, where should we put them based, because I think we're getting 1 or 2 mulberry trees, and those are pretty big because I don't think he's sending us the dwarf ones. I can ask and verify, but I think he sent me the list a couple weeks ago, or at this point it's probably been a month ago. I think it was 2 months ago. And so I'll take a look and see what exactly all of those different sizes are, and then that'll help us, I think, at least have a better idea of how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also think through like what else what else we want to put down there, like if we want to, what type of ground cover and stuff
Yeah.
to get more, because we want to put more stuff. It probably won't be hardly any grass down there. It'll mostly be like creeping things like creeping thyme and strawberries, and then different bushes and stuff. So a lot of edibles, so all of that fun stuff, and medicinal type herbs and things like that. And hopefully a few deer repellents and all of that stuff to kind of hopefully keep animals away from it. But
I have a feeling deer will not be prevalent in the front yard.
no, I think the dogs pretty much are going to keep them at bay.
Yeah.
But you never know.
You never know.
Never thought a coyote would come as close as it did.
That's true.
So with the dogs in the presence, so
That's true.
Or I never thought there'd be a bear that close with the dogs. So you just
never know.
you really never know. So
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that might be it for today.
I think it probably should be.
Okay, goodbye.
We're probably boring folks by now.
I don't think we're boring.
You don't think we're boring?
They don't think we're boring.
Okay, I think we're boring.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.